Time for me to talk to you a little bit about freedom, a little bit about being truly independent. In 1963, at the March on Washington, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. ended his speech by saying, "When we allow freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every city and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old spiritual, free at last, free at last. Great God Almighty, we are free at last." You know, he was stating a powerful call to action to the people of the United States and much of the world as well, about equality, justice for the African American. Not to diminish that call of action, it is required for the situation at hand and for all the minorities of all types in this nation and the world. However, none of us can be truly free until we claim our freedom for ourselves. Black, white, Christian, Jew, yellow, brown, any gender, or no matter who you love. Laws can be legislated, reparations paid, equality and justice completed, but only when we claim our freedom in our own minds will we ever be completely able to enjoy freedom. No matter the color, creed, gender, sexual orientation, religion, or nationality, we must already have the impetus for freedom to ring from within. Inviting it with legislation and education is not enough. Freedom for all of us must ring in our own hearts. We must get clear on what that ring of freedom means to us personally. So I ask you, what does it mean to know the truth? To live this teaching as definitive yet expansive? That's freedom. What does it mean to know and reveal the divine power within, an invisible presence and force as prevalent as gravity? That's freedom. What does it mean to be free in your life? What does that look like, feel like, taste like, being free? What is living like, knowing God is not simply in you, but experiences life as you, with you, for you, through you? It is you. That's freedom. The rest, as they say, again, not diminishing what needs to be accomplished in our society, but the rest is just commentary. Freedom must be spoken about and acted upon because though it is inherent spiritually, it remains inactive unless fully accepted and declared by each and every one of us internally. The essence of this teaching of New Thought, of ancient wisdom when it's read as intended, is love, responsibility, self-responsibility, and taking action. It's using our ability to respond, responsibility, and to do it in mind with love, and to do it in body with action to any and all situations and conditions with the divine truth at the forefront. We are all one, all part of the same God stuff, and anyone not remembering that doesn't really know the truth. Maybe, as they say in the play, in the film, maybe they can't handle the truth. There is no them in us. We are all expressions of the same power, the same creative energy. In our 3 billion letters of individual DNA code in our 20,000 genes, each of us are 99.9% the same as any other person. A mere 3 million letters of DNA code are different out of 20 billion. In fact, 98.5% of our DNA is the same as chimpanzees. And to those who kind of get cocky about their humanity versus other life forms, 50% of your DNA is the same as a banana. 99.9% the same. Yet not all are free. Too much is because of the socio-political, religio BS. And much too much of it is because not all of us have claimed it for ourselves. Freedom is our birthright, yet there must be a call to action for it to ring with us from the inside, from within. Freedom implies action, and freedom requires action, whether to obtain it in legalities or to retain it in our social atmosphere. Freedom is not static. It has movement, responsibility, belief attached to it. Freedom cannot be legally and ethically bestowed by government or education alone. It must be achieved and declared and shared from within by all of us. We are all connected, my friends. Yet as the nation and the global community catches up with laws, education, and ethics of justice, we must take the freedom journey to ourselves through our own consciousness first. We must accept the freedom in our unique personal spiritual experience first. We must liberate ourselves with personal responsibility and action first, without assigning blame and with understanding that our divinity gives us the ability to know and live our highest good, as it recognizes the namaste in each and every one of us. Those who honor and recognize the freedom of all of us are a force for good in the world. But to have freedom in our world, to prosper in all of life, we must have the mental equivalent of that prosperity in mind. We can only attract what we mentally become and know to be. It's like the photograph that you take from an old-time camera can only show what the film was exposed to. So too, that's how your life experiences demonstrate. Ernest Holmes said in his book, Living Without Fear, the road to freedom lies not through mysteries or occult performances, but through the intelligent use of natural forces and laws. Therefore, to let freedom ring in our lives, we must understand that our divinity and connection to God is shared by everyone in the world. Freedom, success, prosperity are spiritual attributes that belong to all peoples. So what are we to do? What is mine? What is yours to do? Well, Thurgood Marshall's speech from almost 30 years ago, I happen to see, and it continues to resonate now when he says, democracy just cannot flourish amid fear. Liberty cannot bloom amid hate. Justice cannot take root amid rage. America must get to work. As Americans and citizens of the world, we must get to work from without, of course, what's happening out here, but most especially from within. As JFK reminded us, the great revolution in the history of man, past, present, and future, is the revolution of those determined to be free. Let us start a revolution in mind declaring our freedom. And as an Athenian historian and general from 400 BC stated, the secret to happiness is freedom, and the secret to freedom is courage. So let's be courageous. Let's be courageous and proclaim to the universe our Declaration of Independence. And here it is. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one person to dissolve the bands and bonds of struggle, strife, lack, and faithfulness, which has connected them with a life that does not serve their greatest good, and to assume, among the power of the universe, the station of prosperity to which the laws of nature entitle them, a decent respect to the opinion of one who speaks in truth, requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. I hold this truth to be self-evident, that I am created equal, that I am endowed by my Creator that which is within me with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and happiness, that to secure these rights in my life, beliefs are instituted by me, deriving their just powers from divine consent of my mind and the law of cause and effect, that whenever any form of my beliefs become destructive of these ends, it is the right of me to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new thoughts, new feelings, new perspectives, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect my safety, prosperity, health, and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that beliefs long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experiences has shown that many times I am more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right myself by abolishing the beliefs to which I am accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce me under absolute or partial lack, it is my right, it is my duty to throw off such beliefs and to provide new thoughts and feelings, new perspectives and beliefs for my future security, prosperity, health, and happiness. Such has been my patient sufferance, and such is now the necessity which constrains me to alter my thinking and my beliefs. Part of the history of my present beliefs is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over my happiness. And so I now declare with full knowledge and embodying of the one power within, that one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause, with that spirit expressing through me which is the unity of all life, I claim and swear to use my creative thoughts to think from that eternal goodness, that eternal loving kindness, and that eternal givingness of divine intelligence, to act, be, and surround myself with love, abundance, vitality, and vibrancy, to think, reason, and live without the bondage of any negativity from my past, without the consciousness of no, or the shoulda, woulda, couldas of not yet, without fear of a future I will create, and without any water cooler gossip or the news and opinions of CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, NPR, or any government or religion that may be running around in my mind like a rat in a cage, like squirrels in a whirling dervish, like chattering monkeys invading my consciousness. I therefore do in the name and authority of my birthright as an individualization of the source and substance of all, solemnly publish and declare that I am that I am, and of right ought to be free and independent of destructive thoughts and beliefs, and that I am is absolved from all allegiance to negativity, and that all connection between me and the state of lack and limitation is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as a free and independent personalization of God, I engage my full power to levy peace, prosperity, and love in my life from this day forward. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection and power of the divine intelligence within, I pledge to my life. So please, take your finger and sign your name in the air, declaring your independence and committing your freedom to be the greatest you that ever was, the greatest you that ever will be from this day forward. Namaste.